I do have real fear going on social media, but if we're gonna do it, we're gonna go fully at it and try to treat that the same way as how we handle our cases.
Brian and I have this conversation all the time. And Brian's like, man, I wish we did this 5 years ago. And I'm like, this wouldn't be working like it works if we did it 5 years ago.
Why should young lawyers feel like they have to go through this weird apprenticeship at some other firm to do all these things and be in discovery for 4 years before you can even be a real lawyer? Welcome to this episode of Bourbon of Proof, where we interview those who have been successful both law and life. And today we have a tandem guest because we have two gentlemen that started their own firm not even a year ago. Here in Arizona, we're filming live from Walter Studios in Phoenix. And we have both Brian Riley and Austin Kurtz. We're going to talk to them and learn their story, but we also have to introduce one of the Arizona Cardinals' original season ticket holders, Mauro Fiore Jr. Look at him.
And this, I don't know when this is airing, but we were just coming off yesterday, an ass whipping of the Rams in the home opener, 43-3, I think it was, and the Rams were not in the game ever. It was fucking amazing. I came up for the game. Let's go fucking Cardinals. Super Bowl, baby.
Let's go, Birds.
Yeah, let's go, Birds. So, as we air, you guys are, they're 2 games in. You guys will finish 2-15.
6 and
As a
11.
Steelers fan, you got it. You
understand. So the
6 and
eternal
11.
optimist. So we want to start because you guys are like Arizona royalty. If we had to like pick two, really, because 2 individuals that came from something in Arizona that is an old guard mentality, and you guys broke the mold. The mold.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying. I think we're having a lot of fun doing whatever we're doing. We're just figuring it out day by day.
If you follow their firm, they have some fantastic shit that's coming out. You guys are scaling it. By the way, where's our whiskey sommelier? Because I feel like we have to start this episode with a bang.
So 1 year into their...
Not even.
And now we
not
have
The man in the myth.
Here we go. We're starting
the
off
AZ
strong.
attorney on Instagram at the AZ attorney. This is Travis.
This one looks dirty.
This one F's me up.
This is good.
Well,
We're starting off strong because you guys started off strong with your firm this year, killing it. This is 57 point something percent alcohol, 115 proof about. Smoke wagon out of Vegas, but I like it. It's a nice desert theme. You know, matches the desert attorneys here. So enjoy.
Yeah. So of course we picked this for two gunslingers, right? This is a Nevada pour. And if they have a special dedication on the back that tells you exactly the bottle number and everything else, when it was poured. Look, June 4, 2024. This is just a special bottle. And for me personally, I think spirits speak to you different ways. And the smoke gun really F's me up pretty good. I don't know what it is. I could drink a whole bottle of XYZ, but this one, this little half ounce or 2 ounce pork, and it's gonna make me jump like Spider-Man on top of the wall. And Mount Morrow.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Today. So Brian, let's start with you, man. I mean, what was your origin story? Where did you start? Like, what you cannot fucking drink.
I gotta taste it. I'm 4 episodes behind you guys. I gotta figure out what's going on in here.
cheers.
Hey, to street lawyers and street justice, you guys get to do your cheers at the end.
I missed you.
You didn't miss me.
Don't be a fuck.
So what's my origin story? So, got done with school up at NAU. Really wanted to.
What does that stand for?
Northern Arizona University.
There we go.
Played football
Flagstaff,
up there.
Flagstaff.
Really.
You played
wanted,
football for
I did.
NAU?
I did. I wanted to make it to the NFL. Did my best to try and do that.
What did you play?
Tight end.
So Mauro used to be a tight end. They worked him to a wide receiver.
Yeah, well, it
I
was
believe
tight
it.
at the beginning.
Yeah. Of course, that's how it starts out.
And then it got wide.
That was the joke. You can leave it at that.
So, anyways, I was at NAU playing ball. My dad had a case going, a family probate issue, and every single night I was calling my dad, from my freshman year through my senior year. Hey, what's going on with the case? What's going on with the case? And he was just basically telling me what his lawyer was telling him. And sure enough, we're going through financial statements together. I'm trying to do it over the,
How
through
old
the
are you at
computer.
this time? Are you
20, 19.
Wow.
And sadly, for years we couldn't get the numbers to line up. And it took a while for my dad to say, well, it's because someone in the family is stealing money, right? So that case went on forever. In 2013, I was out of school and actually went to the Arizona Supreme Court for a argument on a particular issue. And so I got to go watch my dad's attorneys and the defense attorneys, and I was so dumb. After I left, I told my mom and my family, I was like, these guys they're talking out each side of their ass here. Like they can't just answer a question directly. Little did I know they were being asked like the hardest questions ever at the Supreme Court hearing. But yeah, after seeing that, and that was in 2013, I went ahead and started, applying for law school, got into law school, worked hard in law school, found personal injury as probably the best way to make a living for myself, closest to sales, and which was kind of my natural deal, and then just got right into personal injury and got licensed in 2016.
So usually the tight ends, offensive linemen in football are usually the ones that like cerebral players. I mean, is that where you were at NIU?
Oh yeah, at Northern Arizona, yeah, for sure. I mean, I would definitely have considered myself one of the smartest players on the team. I knew the route tree, right? I knew the blocking schemes.
Do you have to block for Austin? I don't want to fast forward, but like how often do you have to like block and tackle for this guy?
Constantly. The mouth and the muscle. I mean, that's how it works.
Honestly, he's kind of a spitfire. He'll come block for me sometimes too. So, but yeah, I mean, we've got a good symbiosis. I mean, I think between myself and Austin, we always have each other's back no matter what. And even when one of us doesn't necessarily know it, the other person will step up and, kind of take it in the chest.
And we just
if
want to thank you
necessary.
guys for these Bourbon of Proof t-shirts.
They're amazing.
These are amazing. And on the
And then
back,
on the back has a
here we go.
my physique is
Oh, that's good.
being
That's good.
showcased.
We got him sleeping. We got Bob. Got the Carol G. Wolf and a lightning bolt in there, Don't sleep on the
Got
Redbirds.
stereo.
Don't
Love
sleep
it.
on the Redbird. That looks good. I'm going to wear this t-shirt to bed tonight, and then I'll take my kids to school in the exact same t-shirt.
And he's not kidding.
But no,
Like,
on it. But
like
you,
earlier today, I saw Bob with like a new shirt he had on. I was like, damn, Bob has added to his wardrobe. This is every 5 years. One piece.
Yeah.
but honestly, do you guys own pajamas?
No, we wear those shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Do you own
That's it.
pajamas?
Yes.
What is the matter
Haven't
with
you
you?
ever seen my leopard pajamas?
I hope
that wear?
I hope I never do. No, but really, like, just go to sleep what you're wearing, and then
It's
wear
too,
it for a
too
little
hot
bit
to wear much
Right.
fucking sleeping in Arizona. It's hot all the time.
what is this nonsense? We're wasting money on clothes you wear to sleep. This is silly. Austin, let's go to you, brother, because I've always viewed you as like we reached out early on in your career where you were, and you were building this entire massive personal injury and product liability practice at an older. I mean, they're a great firm, but they don't do only personal injury, right?
Sure.
So you're running this practice and like cultivating these high injury, high value cases at a firm that doesn't specialize in it.
Yeah, so the firm I was at before had a history of doing defense, but they had all really good personal injury product liability lawyers, some of the best in town. And really, going back, like I started out of UCLA, went and practiced in Colorado for 2 years doing traditional big law, and I hated it. I hated it.
But you're licensed in California and Arizona?
Yeah, in Colorado.
And Colorado.
You went to UCLA Law School? Wow, fancy.
Yeah, I know. This guy's, he's one of the smart ones.
It's hard to get into UCLA Law School.
Yeah,
Is
I
this
got
gray
lucky.
hair, by the way, now?
Yeah, man,
Look
they're a
at
lot.
this.
They're
I went to
This guy just had a second kid. Look at this. This is outrageous. I saw him. He was a brunette in February.
I went to UWLA, so that's just a little bit different than UCLA.
You know what? So somebody corrected me on your episode. They're like, UWLA is not unaccredited. It is accredited now. I was like, wow. It actually is.
Look at that.
It's State Bar of California accredited,
That's all that
not
matters.
ABA accredited.
Oh, there we go. I had to correct this person. It was just somebody on the interweb.
It's like I'd love to. I didn't go to an ABA accredited law school. I went to a State Bar of California accredited law school, which is like
Okay, trivia. Do you know who has a life-size portrait at his law school? What lawyer has a self?
no, not a portrait. Yeah, a painting.
A painting.
of him in the library at my
That's
law
gotta
It's
school.
got to be
You?
this guy.
Nope.
Gary Dornick.
No way.
Went to my shitty fucking undercredited shit.
The thing that's like, I like going to UCLA, great, whatever. This conversation happens all the time. The first conversation that happened when I went to UCLA, I went to Arizona State undergrad. I get into UCLA, I show up like I normally do. Guy from Yale, guy from Harvard, nice ass schools, and they're like, I went to Harvard. Other guy's like, I went to Yale, and I was like, I went to Arizona State. And they're like, you must have partied a lot. And I was like, we're all here, fuckers. Nice to meet you. Let's go. And the rest of the time, I was ASU guy there, which was cool to me because that's my vibe.
Have you guys ever met a lawyer, a trial lawyer you tried a case against, from Yale, Harvard, any of these?
Never.
Stanford? Never.
No.
Never.
I mean, the best lawyers I've ever met went to law schools that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Because that's how they made it. I mean, I got my ass kicked a lot in law school to figure it out, and it's like that fighter mentality comes from somewhere. That's what.
Like I've had cases where like it's very rare that I look up lawyers, that I'm against on the other side, but once in a while I got to look them up. I was dealing with this guy case, was a fucking moron. I was like, this guy, it's like, I don't know if he's, special ed or what. I don't know, just an idiot. I looked him up, the fuck guy went to Harvard. I was like, this is the dumbest motherfucker I've ever spoken to. You know what I mean? He went to Harvard Law School. It's like, I can't believe I can literally make this guy, I can litigate circles around him and make this guy pay me millions of dollars. And he went to fucking Harvard. I went to an unaccredited law school in Inglewood, California, in the fucking end of the fucking runway by LAX.
Yeah, but he won't tell you about how many times he's had his ass kicked. He'll just tell you about where he went to law school. He'll be like, I did go to Harvard.
When I was 20, I went to this law school. We don't call it Whiskey Sommelier. Guys, you got to drink up because this is going to be a good episode. So, I mean, this is you guys are the Smoking Guns. We're going to talk about your early inception into starting your practice a little earlier than you thought you would have.
Right.
So,
How do you know each other? You guys didn't go to law school together.
No, I mean, just through the industry.
Yeah.
Like, we had a group here in Arizona. Arizona's different than California. We're not as connected as California lawyers. We're trying to be. We're trying to build that. And Brian and I had the ability to meet through a group of younger lawyers in town who we all are kind of trying to be like, hey, let's share knowledge and figure it out together. And we love the guys, and if they watch this, we love them. But
absolutely.
they weren't going to shit, and we were going to shit all the time. And we saw each other all the time and stuff. And we're like, dude, how come we're the only two guys at this?
Right.
Everywhere.
And I think also naturally business-minded people, right? I know what Austin does. He knows what I do. We started referring cases back and forth to each other. And I know, from, I think, Austin's perspective, he was sending me these car accident cases that his firm wasn't going to take. And I was...
See, this is crazy to me because I think of the inverse, right? Because Brian, you would think, big football player, you should be in front of the court, what you are. Mm-hmm. Austin, operator, knows marketing, he's at a firm. You think it's opposite, but you were running all these pre-litigation cases on volume,
right.
And you're running these catastrophic injury cases,
right.
Austin, right? And by the way, if anybody's watching all of your social media, Austin's a big dude.
Like, I look fucking
But he looks
him.
itsy next to Brian. He's like 6'6", whatever the fuck you are. All right, Sommelier, let's get this next pour over here, by the way.
All right.
By the way, I always pissed because I was like, Austin looks so tiny. Like,
he's a stout guy.
All my friends are like, what's wrong with you?
Continuing with the desert theme, this comes from Tucson, like you.
Oh.
This is actually a single malt, not my preferred choice, but it's finished in French Calvados casks, which gives it a nice complexity. And of course, you gotta rep Tucson.
Bob, did you introduce our sommelier? He's the AZ lawyer.
The easy lawyer?
AZ fucker.
Easy to find me.
This man is a legend. This man is a legend.
Yeah. I don't remember if I did, but you just did.
Okay, good.
All right. Mauro, can you please pour
Yes,
these ones
sir.
from, what is this? This is the...
Del Back.
This is from
Tucson.
Hold on.
Tucson,
hometown.
Arizona, the Bay Area and back down. Let's go. So both Travis lives in Tucson now from Tucson. Brian is there from okay, here we go.
I've been to Tucson. I've been to the OK Corral.
Yeah, it's good there.
Where they actually had the shootout. They have a really cool museum, and you can learn all about it. I'm like a Clark Griswold type. I stop for that kind of shit.
The giant.
The thing.
Yeah, I
The
stopped.
giant rubber band.
Yeah, I stopped. I was driving through there. Who can pass up the OK Corral? Fuck, I couldn't.
It's good stuff.
And it was awesome.
So I don't own a gun. Do not. I'll disclose
Because
that.
you're a pussy.
I have a hand axe, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
not. First of all.
Yeah, I got a 357 Magnum that's called a hand
This is
cannon.
where this is going.
Called a hand
so
cannon.
we go out to the range one time. We're firing like fucking hand cannons. Mario comes out of his trunk and has like 6 weapons that should never be like legal anywhere. I put one on my shoulder.
I had like a
oh
Mac
God!
can and shit, you
I
know?
put one on my shoulder. It blew me back 10 feet.
Oh, no.
And he's laughing at me.
Welcome to the desert.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you know, in LA you got to have weaponry, because LA is, we have a DA that if you get caught for murder or something, they give you a Happy Meal and they send you home. So in LA you better be ready to defend yourself, man. There ain't no one coming for
Street
you.
justice.
There we go.
Street lawyers and street justice. This
Fuck
is
Gascon is my fucking,
oh, here we go.
my cheers. You know, we need law
You gotta
and order.
drink it before you put it on
California, we need fucking law and order. That's all I can say. That's why I like fucking
I like
Arizona.
this Tucson blend.
That's why I like
one's good.
Arizona. Arizona
good.
here, man.
Here he goes.
Criminals
He's
go
off
to
on
the
a
fucking,
rant.
criminals go to the fucking joint where they belong. You can shoot a motherfucker on sight if they're in, you know what I mean? That's how it should be, man.
When are you moving out here?
I would love to move to I'd move to Paradise Valley.
You're ready.
And fucking sun my ass.
His wife likes it hot, by the way.
Yeah, she's a part lizard.
Well,
She
she's
doesn't
made it
want to
home
leave.
here.
She don't want to go by the beach by us because sometimes it gets to like 70.
Yeah,
Dude,
my wife
it's-
can't deal with it.
It's been a hot summer. We've had more
Yeah.
100 degree days than ever.
What do you guys do when it's 100 degrees? Here?
Stay inside.
Hide in
Go in the
AC,
pool.
go in the pool.
Yeah. It's been tough this summer. I mean, try to get out to California.
Yeah, that's
That's really
There
what
we
we
go.
do.
You know, it's weird. I mentioned on an earlier episode, like I'd say 50% of the people I know from Arizona that have some money, they all have a place in Newport Beach. They're all in Newport in the summer. Arizona fuckers are in Newport.
it's true.
Yep.
And then they come back here in October.
We go to Coronado, Pacific Beach,
Coronado
San
is
Diego.
Awesome. Yeah.
I love PP, man. It's
Yeah.
fun down there.
It's fun.
So Austin, like when you, because you have like such a, we talk about this like a digital marketing brain for people that don't have a significant budget. Like you fucking, I mean, you crush at this piece. Can you just explain to our viewers or listeners how you're able to like compartmentalize what you're doing big picture and putting it into small dollars?
Dude, I think we're like unapologetically us, which has been really helpful. I mean, both coming from different backgrounds allows us. We're just kind of like, fuck it, let's see what sticks. So I think that's a big thing, and I'll go back to it. But I think unapologetically us, and then we're constantly watching and remaking the model. And finally, like, I'm not scared to just slide into DMs. Like, that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met.
I slid into your DMs because some guy posts a video being like, I talked to Bob Simon and he'll talk to anyone. And some guy with really no presence. And I DM'd Bob and I was like, fuck you, you'll talk to anyone, when? And he's like, I got 30 minutes tomorrow. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't think that was going to happen.
People say I talked tomorrow and he was an asshole.
But like, I think that that's kind of the brand. And like, we got named, we started the firm in January. We got named by Phoenix Magazine best personal injury lawyers and best lawyers in the valley.
Okay,
That's
that's
amazing.
the crazy. And you guys have hired your first associate. You guys are now have
14
you guys-
employees.
You're. I mean, this is where you hit this inflection point. We're like, what are we going to do at this point, right?
Right.
You have all these calls. Where are you going to redirect this traffic? Because you can't keep hiring employees at this point. This has been a crazy ride for the chief. But to credit your personality, who you are, because both of you will get in the courtroom. You'll try any case. You'll go on social media and you'll just do funny, fucked up shit. That's funny.
Yeah.
Like you did one. It was like a.
Brian breaking it down.
No, it was the.
The
I
college
have
football
full,
one?
no, I have full insurance. What was that?
Oh
Full
yeah, by
coverage.
myself. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like, you know, I'm gonna give Austin a lot of credit. Like he comes up with like the base idea. I add my flair. I add my sprinkle here and there. But like, you know, for me and Austin being on social media, it's not like what we naturally do. But if we're gonna do it, we're gonna go fully at it. I'm not gonna be scared, and try to treat that the same way as how we handle our cases, right? I mean, if the other side thinks that you even have a doubt of fear, they're going to take advantage of you. I have no fear. I do have real fear going on social media, but if, you know, Caleb, our guy, has got the camera,
But that's
just go
wild
for it.
because.
You fully commit.
yeah, you have to.
But Brian, you would feel like play college football. You're a big dude, big structure. You feel like camera's no problem for me.
Yeah, but like, you know, I think when the pressure's on, naturally you get nervous, right? And it's because you care. You want to do well. You want to, show yourself in the best light possible. And it's really easy to fuck that up. So, you start to get in your head a little bit, but have a couple drinks, kind of get in your zone. All of a sudden, it's like you're.
We should
it's like
shoot
you're
a
at the
commercial
bar.
for Austin Kurtz after this, right?
I mean, it's like, the camera loves me. I mean, look at me. I mean, I
Beautiful.
understand. I'm a beautiful man.
But where did the
I get
Riley
it.
Kurtz? Because I love your like logos and all.
Right.
Is this stuff that you guys came up with? Like how
The story of I think this is the funniest shit in the world. Is we were
I
trying
had
to
one of their T-shirts I got in Cabo.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's
I
my
still have the
favorite.
white
I wear it all
T-shirt
the
with
time.
the
one
green
tequila,
lightning
two
bolt.
tequila, three
Yeah.
tequila,
Right
policy
here.
limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our story.
And that's how we got together.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out, and we're like sitting at coffee shops trying to figure out what we're gonna do. And someone told us to be the Super Crash Bros, which we might still do something off the Super Crash Bros. But we're going through it. We come up with we don't really give a shit whose name comes first or any of that. We neither of us are ego guys, so we just were like whatever. And then we're like, we should do a lightning bolt because we like the lightning bolt, we like the green, and we throw it together and we're like lightning fast, we're kind of efficient. This is sort of the strategy, and we had all that, and then Brian's like, we should throw a wolf in there. And I was like, dude. I was like, what the fuck, a wolf? And he's like, yeah, I really want a wolf. And I was like, all right, let's do a wolf. And so then it's like a lightning bolt and a wolf and
Sounds like you were
KRLG, and
high.
it's like,
Sounds
that's
good.
not important. That has nothing to do with anything.
Why are you making allegations?
I mean-
There
The
may
first
be-
time I met these guys was in Cabo where we were playing golf. And they were, I don't know who they were playing with. They were fucked up. And then this guy was like,
Oh, it was Ryan Ranella.
And Ryan was like, this fucker hits it a mile, whatever. I was like, okay. So I fucking stuck around. I was like, I got to see it. Fucking guy hit it like 70 fucking yards.
Not a good.
I was like, Ryan, this guy sucks ass.
Yeah. Then I stuck the next shot though.
Yeah.
He did, yeah. You did
I
stick.
did.
And then Mauro got it closer, to his credit.
Morrow's drive was beautiful. I'll never forget
Morrow
that.
took like $1,000 from Ranella in
Yeah,
30
well, I mean,
seconds.
listen, man. People if anyone wants to gamble on the golf course, okay. What do you want to do? Ryan was like, you want to play $400 a shot? Okay. $5, okay. Whatever. They want to play against me, they're gonna earn it.
Yeah.
On the golf course, they're gonna earn it. And he was complaining last night about all the money I took from him.
Whiskey sommelier, I think we need another pour over here. Because I want to talk to you guys about the growing pains of starting your firm and because a lot of people watching and listening don't realize, yes, I think it's a lot easier now than Mauro and I when we started, but there's a lot of unknown and a lot of stuff you got to be prepared for. Right?
Yeah, I mean, now there's the internet, there's community, there's everything. I started practicing in the 90s. You guys haven't probably in elementary school. I started practicing in the fucking 90s with no internet. I didn't have internet access when I started fucking practicing law. And there was nobody to help you. No one shared anything. It was fucking bad, man. You had to learn it on your own.
I would say at my last firm, I got a good, at my last firm, being the first person hired there in Arizona, hiring all the attorneys, all the staff, working with the accounting department closely. It was a really good 3-year practice run on what's when you don't even have any cases, what's the first thing you do to be successful, right? Okay, let's go make sure our trust account is right. Let's make sure our system's right. And then as the cases start to come in, being able to, make adjustments and, implement things on the side. But I will say, having Austin right there with me all year has really accelerated our foundation. And so, every single day there is obstacles. And one of the obstacles right now is, we want to make sure we have enough attorneys for our cases, giving them the attention. Even today, I think is the first day we've been out of the office.
One of us,
since
yeah.
we started the
We
firm.
always have each other.
It's been like a good test of, hey, is everything going well? And there's certainly a lot of things that, we need to improve on, we want to improve on, but we just have fun. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
What do we got here,
I've
Trev?
saved the best for last. Bob and Mara, you
Elijah
guys
Craig.
have drank a lot today. This is the best of the best. Elijah Craig, this is their barrel proof. This is their batch C923. Came out at the end of last year. 133 proof, but doesn't drink like it, I promise. 13 years aged, so nice and oaky. I mean, you can put this against any bottle. George C. Stagg, William LaRue, I think, and this could beat it. So enjoy.
It's for your,
got me
your
hyped.
Tucson brother over here.
If Trav throws a bottle up like that, every time he's 100%
Yeah,
on.
Travis knows what he's drinking. That's why
Yes.
he's a whiskey sommelier. But I'll tell you right now, we could probably fuel a car back to the future with this proof.
133? Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Holy Moses.
That's gonna get you.
All right. So last cheers, you guys can. What's your cheers? You can.
Yeah, give us your cheers.
I'll let Brian do it. Brian's probably the cheers master here.
You know, I'll just drink to saying thank you to Bob and you, Mauro. You guys have definitely made myself and Austin feel like family. A year and a half ago, when we started kind of connecting and hanging out, you gave us a lot of confidence to, eventually go out on our own and leave really established firms where we were in great places. So I just will say thank you, and I appreciate you guys for having us.
Wait, before we do, Austin, can you ChatGPT? Austin, can you do a less sappy? Like,
Listen, man, the man is an emotional man.
Thanks, boys.
He's an emotional guy. I mean,
I just wanted to. He's so
I like
big
that. Hey,
and
you know,
he's
I
so
like
big
that.
and beautiful. I just wanted to
that.
say
I
that.
like
real
that.
quick.
Don't be a
Just give him
fuck.
anything awkward. Don't get mad at me.
That's good.
You boys are going to be out at Mardi Gras?
Yes,
course.
Yeah.
That's hot.
We're out there
My
speaking.
first year. I'm a virgin.
The most,
Oh, God.
and for me to say the drunkest I've ever been
Oh God, this is
in my life is hard to say. But last year at Mardi Gras, the drunkest I've ever been, I stole a golf cart from the at the hotel
During the golf tournament?
and I crashed it.
Oh, no.
No, this was after like ice.
This
no,
was-
this
Ice
is a
Cube
full-on
played or
admission.
something.
This was the night before.
I stole a golf cart, I crashed it, and then I ended up. Me and Bob had shared a 2-story cabana like thing at the
It's
hotel.
not a cabana. It's like a hotel room.
Yeah, we shared like a 2-story hotel room with me and my wife and Bob and his wife. And I just made it into the room, and then I passed out on the floor in the living room in my underwear. I think Bob has a picture of me.
I have a video where his wife tried to wake him up, was pouring water on his face. To
like
He's
and,
passed out on like
I
in his
crashed
tidy
the golf cart into a
whities.
palm tree. I just remember somehow I made it back to the room. I don't know how. But that's the drunkest I get.
The reason was that night is they know we like whiskey. Somebody brought a whole bottle of Boss Hog, and they said, we're going to come to your hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Who
that's
was it?
It was Nalani from Blue Shark, and she's a big whiskey girl, and she brought a whole
she
bottle of it.
fucking
We
ruined
were
me.
drinking all of this, and Mauro was wrecked. He was wrecked.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad, but it was good.
bad.
So this year at Mardi Gras, we're actually giving away a whole barrel of whiskey. Mauro and I, we did a whole barrel.
Wow.
No shit.
gotta win
Mardi
that.
Gras is such a different. I mean, like we did bar battle in February here.
Right here,
Right
Walter
here.
Studios,
Yep.
which was awesome.
But that was like, I mean, that came from your guys' model. Like when we were talking about doing it, it's coming from this idea of like, hey, let's connect lawyers and let's just like throw out the suits. Like fucking leave the suits at home and go have fun in a way that people have never had fun before. And every lawyer that goes to Mardi Gras and people that went to bar battle and hopefully bar battles in the future, like they show up and they go, holy shit, like lawyers can just drink and not have to be assholes all the time.
But we talk about this all the time, Austin, is like, why should young lawyers feel like they have to go through this weird apprenticeship at some other firm to do all these things and be in discovery for 4 years before you can even be a real lawyer? This isn't the way the world works. Not anymore, especially with all the things that we're doing. It's not that way.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for building this community here in Arizona. And I know we're starting the Just HQ project here, and you guys are the top of like the mentorship circle, and it's a different playbook now.
Yeah, I mean now it's like what I compare being a lawyer now, all kinds of lawyers, not just trial lawyers, personal injury lawyers, is to back in like the mid 2000s, 2010 something. Online poker was huge. Remember Party Poker and all this shit, and then all these guys that were online players, like some random dude from Norway, who played 50,000 hands of online poker, would show up in Vegas at the World Series of Poker and win the fucking tournament.
Right.
And that's the first time the guy ever handled chips in his life. Never played live poker in his life, but they've played so many hands and have so much experience because of what is available to you that they could go out there and beat fucking Doyle Brunson, right? Now, trial lawyers have so much information at their fingertips. You can go online, graduate from law school, you can watch videos, webinars, you can read, and you can see everything, stuff that I would only dream about when I was a fucking
I used to
lawyer.
read those fucking like Doyle Brunson's poker book.
Yeah.
Like those-
Yeah.
But I mean with trial lawyer books too, with trial guys.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
the
the
same
same
shit. It's
I mean,
like, now you have everything. Now you have no excuse. It's all
Right.
here for you.
I think that like the irony of it is going to like Brian and I have this conversation all the time, and Brian's like, man, I wish we did this 5 years ago, and I'm like, we would not have been, this wouldn't be working like it works if we did it 5 years ago. And that's the rub of like part of the reason we're able to be successful early and like we're really grateful for it is having guys like you that I can like, we can reach out to, right? I can be like, hey, I'm trying this slip and fall issue. What should I do here? I called Bob and like, we called Bob, we had a trial in January. Literally, Brian and I fucking, stupidest and smartest decision we ever did. We start the firm and Jan 1, we had a case within 10 days, go to trial. Like, Brian's like, hey, you got to hop on. I didn't work at it at my old firm. I was like, I won't touch it until I'm out.
Very tough case.
And we go and do it. We have a great result. But like, we're calling Bob and we're like asking questions. And it's like, if you don't have that community, it's hard to find and hard to grow. And you kind of need that big firm model to teach you. But also, that community is more and more accessible each day.
Yeah,
and it's like people who are watching and watch this and then they go, oh fuck, I'm gonna slide into Bob's DMs. That works.
But see, this is why we started the project we're doing, because we're on text chains with like the most powerful lawyers in California and surrounding areas, and we just text ideas or how do I deal with this issue. And there's a point of humility with it. Like, I don't know how to tackle this issue, and how do you respond to that? Right. And that's what we want to create is, imagine a world where you have thousands of lawyers that are best at what they do. They can have that to teach.
It's like when I'm on a text chain with lawyers from the inner circle of advocates, the best, and they're asking me questions, and I'm like, damn, I mean, it really is a full circle moment for me, a guy who came from nowhere.
But we see some questions on those chats where like lawyers that are so experienced, that you think are so experienced, we're like, how the fuck do they not know the answer to that question or how to do it?
I have this theory that when I was like a really young lawyer, one of my mentors was a superstar. He had Arizona Trial Lawyers president and kind of taught me everything I knew. And I remember him taking this deposition, and I wrote the deposition like outline. And at a certain point, he starts reading verbatim my outline. And he's a stud, and I'm like, holy shit, he's relying on my outline. So maybe everyone's faking it a little bit. And then I as soon as I realized that, I'm like, fuck, like they just forget they're faking it. Like they forget that they've
it's imposter syndrome, man.
Yeah,
They're
for
faking
sure.
it.
But now you're using these artificial intelligence programs that are creating those outlines for you, and you could fake it even a little bit
like
more.
this AI,
For sure.
like I'm gonna say for the last 15 years, I used to get calls and emails weekly, people wanting my premises liability depot outline, because I wrote this outline years ago. I've been handling premise cases for 25 years. I've taken hundreds of PMK depots. I mean, I have an outline that I know that everybody in LA uses my outline. Maybe.
Now in Arizona, please.
Yeah.
And now, I think now they get it all. They just probably just chat GPT it and say, hey, give me an outline for a PMK depot for Walmart, and they get it. So I don't get that many calls anymore. But for I'll send you my outline.
Yeah, I do want that for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's just now people have so many places to get the information that they need.
But they get information, but is it the correct information?
Yeah,
Is the
exactly.
problem.
I mean, I think a lot of that is you just kind of fuck around and find out, right?
Right. I mean, that's what I was going to say earlier, like having the balls just to go for it and being thrown to the fire and being in that situation. I've learned more from going into things that no one in my entire firm knew how to handle.
Okay, I'm going to ask both of you individually. So, Austin, first you were at a firm, a prestigious firm here in Arizona, one of the best well-known firms. You left a high-paying job to start your firm with Brian Riley. Why and how did it work out in under a year?
So how it worked out, 100% like amazing. Way better than we could have ever expected. When we were talking about it, the strategy was, we're just going to go out and like be us, and we'll find a way to get cases. And it's been way more successful than that very early, which is awesome, and we're really grateful for the community around us. Why? A mix of, I didn't want to be sitting on my deathbed one day wondering what if. I knew I would never wonder, like if I went that route, I knew where it went, it was going to be successful, but I would have always questioned like what if. And then timing, like Brian and I had these conversations, and we were both in this setup of.
But Austin, you had one kid, one on the way when this happened.
But
I mean, this is crazy.
I mean, the dice roll is like, there's not going to be like, there's more Austin and Brian Rileys, but there's not another Brian Riley to me. And the fact we were ready to go at the same time was like, you just got to fucking go for it, because like, it's really hard to find a partner in law. Like, people are so focused. My dad always says, like, when you're trying to find a lawyer partner, like, you want someone who does this with the money and not someone that does this. Like, we're both like, we don't give a shit about the money. Like, it will get there. But we just, like, really truly care about each other.
I've actually never heard that before. So people that are just listening, Austin said that people that push money away rather than put it in as a partner.
Yeah.
That resonates.
And then the
a lot.
other thing I would say too, for sure, because I knock on wood, whoever, I had my own office for 25 years or so. It somehow worked out. But certainly not because I had such a tremendous business plan. It's just I had fucking balls. But to me, a lot of my currency is not money. You know, my currency is time.
Yeah.
My currency is time. I'm the richest motherfucker in the world when it comes to time. Because I coach my kids' fucking t-ball team. I take them to karate practice. I come home for dinner. I come home to read fucking bedtime stories. I read the same goddamn Bluey book like 50 fucking times.
Yeah, that's a game.
Okay?
That's a
It's
game.
You got to get the new Bluey
it's like
Halloween
I got the
book. It's
fucking
very
shit
good, by the
fucking
way.
memorized,
Very good.
okay? But to me, that is my currency, you know? I don't make the money that lots of these guys make. But the time I have, I'm richer than all of them.
I mean, we've had this conversation tons. It's like, I have a 1-year-old and 3-year-old. I'm done having kids, but I love my boys so much, and I have that at home. Like, I have to rush home to that. Brian is never critical of me spending time with the family. And one day, he's going to have kids, and it's going to be the inverse. And that's the partnership.
Yeah.
That's the dynamic, is like, literally, Brian says, like, some of my shirt ideas and my fucking marketing ideas are a little bit out there. Brian just doesn't say no. He's like, if you think that's going to work, just go do it. He never says no. And I'm the same way with him. I'm like, you want to do that? Sure, let's go fucking do it. And I think that's having the partnership that understands and appreciates that time, and like the family is huge. But
I feel like you guys have a very critical reach to Buffalo Wild Wings right now.
All right, Brian, let's hear
No,
Brian.
no.
Let's hear Brian's
You don't
story.
hear the punchline is.
What is it?
goddamn.
What is it?
Jason Kelsey. This guy looks like fucking Jason
Right.
Kelsey. You see the Buffalo Wild Wings commercials?
Travis is,
I was gonna say-
I prefer
want-
Travis.
Well, yeah, but he was a tight end. But come on. I mean, the other guy's retired. You guys can cash in on this tomorrow.
give him another 2 months on the workout plan, and he's going
I'm
to be Travis.
8 pounds down in 3 weeks. So.
Really? You know what's funny is I could still push up you in front of all these individuals.
Well, maybe. Maybe.
See,
He wasn't
he's
going to
already-
take
He's
the
already
challenge.
scared.
Bob is full of shit. He's got a bad shoulder. He can't do shit.
I can't. I actually have had 2 surgeries on the shoulder, and I'll still be.
I
I
don't
used
know,
to
man.
play
I think
on a
I'm.
baseball team with Bob, and you don't
I
want to
can't.
see this guy throw a baseball. It's
I
really
can't do.
ugly.
I used to be able to fucking snap throw somebody from first, second, from catcher. Can't do it. I can't even throw a ball from right field to first base. It's pathetic.
Yeah. So for me, leaving my firm to join Austin was also a huge. It was a huge step for me. I had never been more successful financially in my, at where I was before. But tomorrow's point, I mean, I was trading finances for time, big time.
Yes.
I mean, I was working so many cases so aggressively and doing well, but I just knew that as much as I can handle, because I can handle a lot, I just can't do it for another 10 years.
But
So
Brian,
I need to make
so
a change now to
Brian, you were at. I mean, a lot of viewers and listeners don't know. I don't know if you can say where it was, but you were at probably the highest volume shop in Arizona, the highest advertising
Plaintiff?
shop.
He was
Plaintiff.
you can say it.
Would
I
you
mean,
work at-
there's
you
no
work at
mystery.
Phillips?
Yeah.
No, he was at Morgan and Morgan.
Oh, Morgan and Morgan?
He ran Morgan and Morgan shop in Arizona.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I like those guys.
But you
Morgan's
see,
cool.
like, how is? I mean, you're a very good-looking man. Is that weird to say?
No, it's not.
It's okay. He's a very good-looking man. He's got a beard. He looks very well.
He's a good-looking
trimmed.
dude.
He's got like nice eyebrows. His nice complexion is very sweet. He's got a nice like touch to him. But anyways, all those things being said, you're at this place where you have this high charisma position,
Yeah.
and you're just doing intake calls, and that was just for me value loss for you.
But at the same time, I was making so many connections that naturally in my role, I was getting these clients that were coming to me directly. And that was when the light bulb went off. Actually, the light bulb went off in 2022. I took a phone call at 11 p.m. Ended up being a $1.5 million case. That I was like, great, I generated this case, but I work for a firm. How cool would it have been if I ended up just having that case for myself? And then it happened again maybe 4 or 5 months later for another $1 million case. And I was like, wow, I need to do something about this, because the next time that phone call rings, I want this case to be coming directly to
be
myself.
for you.
Right,
For
yeah,
me.
and for us.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I started practicing in 1998 for a firm, and I worked there a couple of years. Same thing. I didn't really have any financial rewards at all. I was barely surviving. It was in the 90s. It wasn't. We weren't making that much money. I was starving, and I was like, "Fuck, man! I should go do this on my own. I can fucking starve on my own, right?"
right.
For
You
sure.
know? I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
here that wasn't appreciated or I wasn't well compensated. You know how much I fucking made? 45 grand a year was my salary in 1998. 45 grand as a fucking lawyer.
So my starting salary in 2005, when I passed the bar, worked for a farm, 55 grand.
I made
But you know
45.
what? They gave me a third of what I brought in.
They didn't give
That's
me
pretty
shit
good.
at my
And it
time.
was. I
awesome.
negotiated
Yeah.
the contract.
Yeah.
They gave me a tier, and now I give every lawyer
They
a tier.
didn't give me
we
a
give them a
shit.
tier when they come in.
Right.
This, or that. More. If you have a
Yeah.
lower percentage, and that's how you value.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
They
it.
didn't
the
give
hustle.
me
That's
shit
the
at
best way
the
to
firm
do it.
I
And
was
I
at.
made so much money my third year as a lawyer there. It was like, it was a bad business decision for both of us.
Well, we had
right?
the same incentive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was a higher percentage if you brought the cases in, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go bring these
Yes.
cases in. I'm gonna meet with these chiropractors. I'm gonna meet with these doctors, and you know what? At the end of the case, when I'm negotiating their lien, whatever it might be, and I know it's a good result, hey, this is your proposal. Does that sound good? Not only does that sound good, they've never had an attorney call them about it ever.
Awesome.
And so you make that connection, and over time, you're like, I'm probably gonna get these cases
Yeah.
going forward.
I mean, I
Right?
went out on my own in
over there
2001,
too.
and
Right.
now
2001.
23 years later, best decision I ever made. I'm sure you guys, 25 years down the road, are going to be like, that was the best fucking thing I ever
right.
did.
Absolutely.
Riley Kurtz. Do we have another whiskey? Is this it? 3? Oh, thank God. Because I was going to say, I look at the clock.
Go
this
get
one-
some shit out of the bar. Let's have one more.
We could have a couple more, but Riley Kurtz, you guys, a little over a year as a new firm, and you guys have been absolutely crushing in Arizona. More importantly, a mentor for a lot of other firms to show them the way to build their firms and try cases and do things the right way. We're going to ask you your Bourbon of Proof. Out of these 3 pours, we've had a lot of ones specific from Travis Davis's whiskey cellar in Tucson, Arizona. Brian, I'm going to ask you first. Austin, do not influence your vote on Brian. I know you would never do something like that, but let's hear it.
No, I got my
Man, I mean, honestly, I'm super partial to Tucson. That's my hometown. I love the Tucson. I mean, he played it as if it wasn't going to be that good, and I actually really liked it. But I will say my favorite was the smoky first one.
Wow.
Which is the
From Las Vegas.
Wow.
That's
Smoke
Vegas.
Wagon. It's, it's tall and sexy. It reminds me of me a little bit. Smoky. It
Big
just,
sexy.
Yeah.
it was my favorite out of all 3, for sure.
If you ever see they have a white and green label one that's like more of an uncut one, it will fuck you up for life. Much like the Beetlejuice
find
2
it.
movie I
He
just
reminds me of
Not
that,
good?
that guy from
Oh,
Instagram,
amazing.
Zacharific. You know Zacharific?
No.
Zacharific is like this.
You've seen Beetlejuice 2, right?
Yeah, it was fucking
Amazing.
scary, man.
But it was amazing.
It was great,
All
but
right,
it was
now,
a little
now I
bit
gotta go
scary.
see it.
No, but the
I took
kid-
my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old and my 5 and 4-year-old, and they were like, they loved it, and I was like, "Fuck, this was scary." It scared me, but they were
Yeah.
just laughing.
My 7
kids
and
took it?
4-year-old went and they loved it. But there was
They didn't think it was
there's
scary.
No, there was the couple scenes
You
that
didn't
were
take Poppy?
Poppy went.
Oh, did she
Poppy
like
liked it?
She loved it.
Dude, my kids would be scared of their own shadow right now. Miles is like, he's a different joke.
It was
Okay,
This
Austin,
one, for sure. Not
Really?
even close.
God,
yeah.
yes.
This is fucking great. Trav said it was going to be great, so like
This
maybe
was-
I'm biased
thi-
because if Trav says it's going to be good, I'm like, that's the best thing I've ever had.
So this
but like,
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
it's hot, but it's really good.
It's hot, but this one,
That was the last one we
this,
did,
this
right?
was the
Yeah.
whiskey of the year for a lot of people that
Wow.
picked. This Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and I want to call Travis Davis up here, the AZ attorney, because he picked this one. This has a very special story that.
Yeah, this is the best whiskey. It's perfect. It's aged so well. It's 13 years.
Wow.
You get nice oakiness. It's 133 proof.
133
I
proof.
love high proof whiskeys. Like I search
After
out.
13 years for it to be 100, they must get like this much.
But this
out
is
of
what
it.
it, because this one,
Right,
There
won,
must
this,
be
that's
this
the point.
much.
Yeah.
out
this
of it.
one
special.
won like the whiskey of the year, and I'm like,
Yeah,
how?
this beats out so
Because
many.
the way
so
those barrels
last year.
evaporate, by the time 13 years in at
I
that
know.
proof, they got like this much at the bottom.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's what makes it special. And
Wow.
they release 3 of the barrel proofs every year. This was a certain batch. The other ones are good, but not like this, not to this caliber.
It was nuts.
So very special. I do have a backup at home, so you can have it.
Nice. So we'll drink a glass after this,
Yes,
for sure,
yes.
for sure.
So Travis tells his wife Janelle, who is like one of the most gifted paralegals of all time, he goes, Janelle, I'm going to go downstairs and have one more pour. And he does one of these, and it's like it's like having 6 beers at once.
Well, I mean, that's a
It is,
shotgun
I'm
shot.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
good.
It's a shotgun shot. Yeah. So Brian, Austin, thank you guys for coming on the
Thank
show.
you.
We
Thanks
appreciate
for having
it.
us, guys. Of
Appreciate
course.
We're gonna wear these shirts to bed tonight.
Go
That's
Cards.
true.
There you
Cards,
go.
yeah.
Good. Getting Bob in a card shirt is all I needed. That's where we're at.
You know what? The Cardinals take all the old Steelers.
Yeah, you know,
That's
it's
true.
weird how the Cardinals and Steelers have a relationship where
After 2008.
they
Yeah, it's Wizenhunt after Wizenhunt.
They,
It's always been
yeah.
a thing.
they exchange players. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final pour of Here We're in Arizona and Phoenix, shooting September 2024, is the Michter's Toasted Barrel Finish. The first time I had this was with Dave Wattell, who passed away this year from a very aggressive cancer, who has mentored a lot of us. He's a trial lawyer and a legal tech genius that helped us in a lot of ways. And we spent time in his basement playing foosball, and I still think I beat you motherfuckers, but it was their home court. And to Dave and his son Matt, Daisy, and the Wattell family, we love you guys very much, and we miss Dave immensely. He died way too young,
How old was he?
60. He was about to turn 60.
Yeah, 60th birthday was last May.
Way too young.
Cheers to Dave.
Cheers.